couple hot mics. Mike's clearly here first. So if you have a question for Mike. Oh, hold on. I'm going to start muting people myself. All right. John Reed, why don't you go ahead?
How you doing, Mike? Can you just talk about what this scenario is, being back in the loop for the with Garner for the starter job, and what is it like, and what your mind process is this week?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of communicated that they're gonna have us compete in practice. I mean, today was more of a walkthrough, so kind of have on tomorrow and Saturday, I guess. And I don't think our mindset's changed too much. We're both going to do our best job in practice and prepare, and whatever they go with, we have each other's back.
Do you see this sort of like a redemption of getting back to from that game, your last start? I mean, what was your reaction to that, and just what is the reaction as far as getting an opportunity, though?
Yeah, I mean, you would like to go on a higher note than what I did against Tennessee, but really it's just another opportunity or potential opportunity to start in the NFL and hopefully help this team get a win. So I don't think it's necessarily redemption. You always want to put your best foot forward, and that's what the goal is this week.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, John. Let's go over to Mark Long. Oh, Mark went away.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, there you
no,
are.
I'm here. You ever been part of something like this where you're in week 16 and you got an open quarterback competition in practice?
No. I've never been a part of any competition in practice, the week of a game. So it's definitely unique. But we just have to do our job, and that's to go out there and play to the best of our ability and, leave those decisions to the decision maker. So it's a unique situation. It's been a unique year. So, kind of a lot's come up this year that I don't think any of us kind of saw coming.
And then, I mean, you've been around the league long enough now that you've faced former teams, but you get any juice out of potentially facing your former mates here in Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of guys left that I played with, but there's a handful. And I think anytime, you're going against your former team, there's always some added excitement. So, I think that's just a kind of natural to see, and, we'll see what happens though.
Thanks, Mark. Let's go to Ashlyn Sullivan.
Hey, Mike. Obviously, with the draft position right now, it's kind of a balance where we're seeing fans freaking out about having the #1 overall pick. And obviously, you guys aren't worried about that. Do you pay attention to that? Does it matter at all? How do you block that out and ignore it?
Yeah, I think it's our job as the 2020 Jaguars to go out and get wins. So our focus is on getting wins. And then when the 2021 season gets here, then that's when, that can shift the focus. I mean, we're all, the fans are kind of lifers. We're all, or not all, but a lot of us are on kind of one year deals. So, you never know where you're going to be. So you always have to put your best foot forward. And, so our focus is on the present this week rather than what's going to happen with the draft.
Thanks, Ashlyn. All right, let's go over to Dustin.
Oh, I'm all good. My question got asked. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, thanks. Any other questions for Mike? Cool. All right, we're going to let Mike go. Thanks, Mike. Everybody. John Reed, go ahead.
Garnder, what's your reaction to getting back into an open competition at the starting spot this week?
Yeah, it was good, man. Competition always makes you better. Today it was like a walkthrough day. I started off really good. My cadence was good, and then Mike was breaking the huddle really well by the end of the day. So it was a good day. Really hotly contested.
Do you feel that? I don't know what you guys doing as far as like in a squad scrimmaging, which I know that's not going on. But do you think you you can show enough to win the job from what's being done in practice in week 16?
I hope I can. That's the plan. Do everything I can. Mike's going to do everything he can, and then leave the decision up to coach.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John. Let's go over to Cassidy and then D-Rock.
You're
Cassidy,
Gene in that.
Yeah.
That was my ode to Gene this week. Having gone through so many quarterback battles just in different places in college, and then when you first got to Jacksonville, does this sort of feel like old hat for you and kind of get the juices flowing, like knowing this is where you can shine?
Yeah, having that experience going through it definitely helps. But I mean, we've all gone through a lot of situations. I don't think anything quite like this, but we're going to compete and then, support whoever's out there.
And then just a little bit of a tape review on Chicago. What do you see from them, especially that front line that can be very disruptive?
Yep, they have some really good players, at all three levels. I think that makes them a tough opponent. I think they're disciplined in what they do. They don't give up, a bunch of chunk plays. You really got to earn it, be consistent. And so I think that's a challenge facing them.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Cassidy. Let's go to D-Rock.
And Gardner, is there any way to really kind of sum up this entire football season for you in terms, and just the team in general, from the start all the way back in the virtual off season to now? I mean, Mike was in here talking about so unusual, so different. Is there any way you can even begin to think how to sum this up?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not to you guys, but no, it's been a crazy year, man. A whole bunch of ups, a whole lot more downs. So I'm just gonna finish it strong and get on to the next one.
Will you take time after the season to kind of look back at everything and just kind of marvel at how crazy everything was and the fact that you guys actually got through a whole season?
Yeah, I'm going to try to not think about it for a few weeks and then probably try to deconstruct a little bit after that, and then get ready for next year.
Thanks, bud.
Yep.
Thanks. All right, Dustin, do you have a question?
Yep. I was going to ask Gardner, what are going to be the keys to success this week if you're the starting quarterback, again, facing a really strong pass rush like last week? What are some things you can work on based on last week?
Yeah, I think we got to be really good with our protection IDs, have the guys going sending the line the right way. I think we need to do stuff to get the ball out of our hands quick. And we just got to be consistent against them. I think the thing they're going to try to force you to do is take those long drives, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays. And they're going to bet that you're not going to be consistent enough to do it against them. And I think that's a challenge.
Thank you, Gardner. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, thanks, Dustin. Looks like that's the last question unless anyone jumps in. Otherwise, we're going to send Gardner away. All right, thanks, Gardner.
Yes.
Appreciate your time.
After this past weekend, Jaguars have pretty much locked up either the first or the second overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked to a lot of the different guys about what it's like, but especially for you, knowing that the quarterback might be at the top of that list. And you even bought a house in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, no, I did buy a house in Jacksonville.
So, I mean, is that a little weird for you right now, hearing that? What does that do for your mindset for these last 2 weeks?
It doesn't do anything for that. You prepare the same way, going into each game, try to do your best, and then leave decisions up to the decision makers.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Gardner. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.